Good morning, Bradley here with Criveller Group. We're in the beautiful Central Coast of California at Paso Robles at Eberle Winery. We have Chris Eberle, winemaker and babysitter of barrels here.
That's it.
Also with us today. We're here to showcase the Enoveneta PC100 hectoliter press that Chris purchased from us this year. We're actually working on the final tank of the day today, last pressing of Cabernet Sauvignon. So just wanted to take a few minutes to give you guys an idea of the differences between our press and some of the others you may see out there, and then to showcase our new 10-inch full-color touchscreen user interface panel we call the Enoveneta panel. So first of all, we'll just get a good look at the press here. Chris had an ancient Booker press in place of this for the, I don't know, the past 20 years or so at Eberle Winery. And we did extensive in-depth looks at all ultra-premium manufacturers out there, and we won. We won on several different things in this, but we'll show you a couple of pieces of this press that are unique, and we'll go from there. So if you want to follow me around here, we'll show you. This is a closed cylinder press. It does come with a hermetically sealed door and pneumatically actuated juice valves. There's one here for the main discharge and a 3-inch pneumatic valve, and then up at the top there's another one that's a little harder to see in the vent valve. If we look to this side here, this press is also equipped with our automatic cleaning system. This system cleans the channels in between your pressings, and a lot of other manufacturers offer this, but this one, according to Chris, is working very well for him this year, so we're very excited about that, and we're thankful for that. I want to work with Chris just for a minute here, and I want to have him tell you a little bit about his winemaking style. He does some pretty interesting things as far as with his white wines and a maceration program with this press, and then we'll go through a little bit on how our panel is by far the most versatile, feature-packed, and definitely the best looking available on the market today. So Chris, if you want to take a moment and tell us a little bit about how you do your winemaking style and what you use this press for specifically within your white wine program.
So this press was particularly attractive to me because I can work really reductive on the whites, and that's important to me to preserve fruits, and just I like to do a lot of skins contact with the whites. So I'm able to seal everything off after we've loaded it through the axle feed with some dry ice, and let it sit for as long as I want without any opportunity to get oxygen into the must. Sometimes we go from 2 hours to 12 hours on skins, so we don't want oxygen. That's really important in the whites winemaking process. So
you're using the press in extended macerations and with your white wines, and just trying to get a little bit more of that reductive character from it before you send it to your tanks.
Correct. Yep.
Understood. I can tell you by experience that Chris makes some of the best wine that I've ever had, and he's kicking butt with this. So I'm excited to see how these vintages come out in the coming years. I think it's going to be beneficial. There's multiple maceration programs loaded into our panel, into the program software. You can do maceration with rotations, without rotations. There's a loading program that will manage the loading axial valve as well as the loading pump. There's also a discharge valve, a discharge minimum and maximum level probe system on the press pan here. Essentially, this press came with just about every option that we could offer, including our remote pedestal, which you can see here. This gives Chris the ability to detach this from the press and take it inside at the end of the season, so it doesn't have to sit out in the sun for extended periods of time. Obviously, benefits are unheard of for that, but if you want to take a look at our panel here, this is the new 10-inch color touchscreen user interface. There's multiple pages here. This would be the first page showing the ability for manual commands. So you have rotations of right and left, inflation, deflation, the pneumatic door opening and closing. This is a three-way, this is the axial valve, and then there's also an option for a 3-way must valve if you wanted to separate your musts from a hard press to a soft press. When we get into the programs themselves, there's several loading programs that are included with this. There's also a top loading program for those of us that like to dump our pumice in or dump our full cluster grapes in. This was the with or without tilting. A lot of feature and functionality built into that. Chris, what do you like most about this panel, and what do you think won you over with this panel versus what you've seen out there with our competitors?
I think the interface, it's the easiest to use. I can program my own cycles as far as pressing goes. You know, if I want to change something right away, I don't have to call someone or try to figure something out. It's super easy, and
it's an on-the-fly adjustment.
Exactly.
So you can stop the program at any given time and alter that program to better fit the needs of whatever product it is that you have in it.
Yeah, the interface is definitely the easiest and easiest to use on the market. And we looked at a lot of different presses, and this was by far, in a way, simple, but also just user-friendly.
Yeah, we went head to head and looked at line by line comparisons for DMA, for Pedestal, for Wilms, Europress, essentially you name it. We looked at every one of these, and I can confidently say now for sure that we have the best user interface out there. Not only the best looking, just the most functionality and versatility, and especially when we consider the price of this option being pretty minimal, it really does win in all aspects of that. So we're getting ready to press off our final tank of the year here. This stuff, it tastes amazing. I did just taste some of the free run there. So Chris said you said this sat on skins for a month?
So this sat on skins for a month, and I'm going to separate the pressings from the free run. And yeah, let's start her up.
Awesome, let's get it going.
So it's pretty simple. I mean, you go to the auto button here, and then you go to the different press cycles here. And we just go to fermented red mass, which is already programmed into the computer when you get it. So just hit play. And it shows you there all the different steps. It'll show you exactly where you are in the pressing cycle.
There's an elapsed time monitor that tells you how much time is elapsed within the press program itself. There's an expected time because he's done this multiple times. The press is smart and learns about how long it's going to take, so it gives you an estimate for the total time that it should take for this program. There's the steps in the program. You have the tank pressure in millibar, you have the number of rotations, the number of repetitions, and then the total time within that step of the press program itself. So I think we're ready to go here. You just hit the play button. At this point, it's going to ask you if, well, no, I guess not.
It's go time.
Yeah, it's go time. It just goes. So now we start our press.
So let's go and pull a vacuum, and then we'll get into the pressing program.
All right, well, that's about it here for the press feature. I just wanted to showcase a little bit about our panel and why it's better, and then we'll have this available at Unified as well. We will bring a press with the panel out there, so any of you that are interested, please do stop by our booth at Unified, and we can talk about it, and I can show you in person to person why this is the best choice in Enoveneta. Thank you.